Today I'll show you where I farm rare stealth and military grade A ship components in Star Citizen. All you need is a tractor beam, a ship with a medical bed, a gun and a whole lot of ammo. There will be no ship combat the way I do this, but there will be a lot of NPC killing, which is the fun part. Don't worry if you don't like or suck at FPS combat, because I'll show you exactly how to master these rare component runs. First, you'll want to head to the next system. I'm currently at Levski, about to take off, but first you'll need to grab the 1 million AUSC intersect mission. If you don't see those, note that you do require at least junior contractor level reputation with this faction for them to pop up. Of course, I'm talking about the Vandal missions, though we won't be completing them and simply need the map markers to get to the QV stations. Now that we're geared up, be sure to set your respawn location to your medical ship by clicking the terminal, regeneration, transfer imprint and confirm. Let's hop in the pilot seat, set our destination and off we go. We've arrived and you'll see the QV station in the distance. Note that once we get closer, Vandal fighters will spawn, but we're going to ignore them completely and head straight for the entrance. They'll take care of themselves, as you'll soon see. Just approach as close as you can in quantum mode before switching to nav. Let's do this. You'll want to keep scanning until you see these two white turrets, which is where we need to land. Don't worry, they're friendly. We're here and now the real fun begins. Let's head inside. Take the elevator to the entrance floor. As we make our way in, ignore the laser on the left and go right. There are no enemies here. As you approach the central hub logistics station stairs you see in front of you, note that once you pass those doors, they'll lock behind you and an alarm will sound. All hell will break loose, so be ready. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. We're going left and up the stairs, ignoring all NPCs. Once on the stairs, it's time to start picking them off one by one. If you die, that's expected if you're doing this for the first time, so don't fret. Just respawn and be sure to loot your body so you don't lose anything. When you've cleared the first few enemies, hug that left wall and fight your way all around the top floor until you reach the maintenance section. Head in there. There are usually two guards here, so we want to be careful. You'll find your first security pad here. Grab it and switch off the alarm on the wall. Now it's time to head downstairs and clear the last of the bad guys. Let's do this. Note that most enemies will be in the server room to your right, so I like to start it off by throwing a grenade in there. Clear the room and check the other side for more enemies. You'll see a weapon rack here where you can also find the boom tube, although it's a Dedrick shotgun this time. Ensure you don't hear any NPC voices before continuing. They don't respawn, so kill them all. By the servers, you'll see the boss with the Testudo Deathblow armor, which you can loot. Next to the server, there's another data pad. Enter both of yours into the machine. You'll now see it says 33% completed. The hard part is done. Let's head back to our ship and get the other 66%. If you have more than one data pad, you won't need to do the next two parts the next time you do this rare component loot run. Once in your pilot seat, you'll see a big damaged Polaris to your left. We're heading there. Close to the front is the entrance, so get out of your ship and into the Polaris. Be ready for more FPS action. Let's go. Once again, we'll want to clear all NPCs from all floors. Take your time, and if you die, just make sure you have enough med gel left for another respawn. If not, head back to the main station where we first landed and claim any small or medium medical ship to reset your spawn. In the Polaris, you'll see some components scattered around, but they're not what we want. We want A-grade grade ones. Be sure to clear all enemies before you start looting crates, as there are a lot of blind spots on this ship. Once done, head to the top hangar on the Polaris and you'll see the server there. Now enter all your data pads until they show 66% completed. Once done, it's time to move on to the next one. As you can see, my Apollo didn't make it, so I'm heading to my hangar to drop some loot and grab a Cutlass Red for the last part. You can drop some of your loot on the floor and it will remain as long as you have at least one ship stored at the QV station, so we can grab that loot later. Time to head out. Note that once you leave the hangar, a bunch of enemy ships will spawn, even though they didn't on this run. If you do this right at the end, you can just hightail it out of there. Otherwise, you can just kite around the station until they blow themselves up. As we leave the main station, you'll want to look for one spiky tower with a red light. Head there. Boop your nose against the door with your ship and you'll have 3 yellow markers pop up saying you need to find an access card to enter. As you approach these yellow markers, enemy ships will spawn. Kill them or use the asteroids to your advantage. Leave your ship and start looking for a body with the card. Once you get close enough, your marker will update, showing you exactly where it is. Now just grab the card from the body and make sure it's in your inventory. Time to head back to that locked door and finish the last part. Leave your ship and insert your access card to gain entry. Cycle the doors and head inside. Be ready to fight. You'll see a registration booth in front of you, which can only be accessed with a code, which is what we need to find. Clear the right side, then move to the left, killing all NPCs you see. Moving forward, you'll see a jammed door with a bunch of bodies on the floor. Before you loot the dead Vandal fighters for rare metal and blades, clear all NPCs on the other side of that door before jumping through. Time to get those door codes. There are usually 3 locations where you'll find laptops with these codes. The first is inside the bar area near the pool tables. Look on the tables for a laptop with an email telling you the access codes. It's not here this time, but this is the best place to check first. Head out the bar and left. You'll see fire spewing out of a broken pipe. Keep to the right and run straight through. Be sure to have a med pen or paramed gun ready to heal. More enemies will spawn, so take your time killing them all. The second location is if you hug the left side towards a security office you can jump through. Boom, we got the code. The other location is if you hug the right, as seen here. Now that we've got our codes, let's head back to that registration office. Once entered, the door opens and you'll see a weapon rack. Sometimes there are also nice loot in boxes, so check everything. Our main target is printing that final key card. You'll also sometimes find another datapad to the left of the server. Your datapad will now show code complete. And you're done. No more NPC killing necessary. Let's head back to the QV station and see which rare military and stealth components we got. I'm going through the security office this time, but you can just go up those main stairs and make a right towards the warehouse. On the far end, enter your completed datapad into the server and the elevator will open. We made it. Time to start looting. There are a lot of boxes to check, so take your time. There are no NPCs here. You'll see a bunch of components scattered around, so take your time and ensure you don't miss anything. I'm dropping what I don't want to make space for more goodies, but the main prizes for me this time is the FR66 and JS500. The size 1 shield and size 3 power plant, both military grade A. Oh, and at the time of this recording, the freight elevators don't work, so we've got to do this the hard way to get our loot. Use your tractor beam to get everything to the normal elevator. First, I'll take all the small components down, tractor them outside once you reach the bottom floor, but do not leave the elevator as you won't be able to enter it again Now for the hard part, getting that JS500 in here. The trick here is to crouch and walk backwards into a corner as you try and force it in there. Bit of a mission, but you'll get the hang of it eventually. Now we need to get them all to the other elevator and back to our ship. The elevator is bugged after a server error and won't open on my hangar floor, so I'll have to go to pad 3 and load it there. After a bit of tedious work, we're heading to Levski to unload our awesome loot. Thanks for watching and be sure to check out this epic video next.